Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of Tuesday Evening Happy Hour with Back to Basics Dog Training. Oh, excuse me. For those of you who know me, don't know me, I'm Leon. I'm the trainer here over at Back to Basics Dog Training, and each and every Tuesday night, I bring you this live free dog training Q&A session where all your training issues, questions, behavioral questions, whatever, are addressed and answered to the best of my ability. So those of you who are watching now live or later on the replay, please put a comment down. Let me know you're watching, where you're watching from. And of course, if you have any questions, by all means, pop the questions into the comments. And like I said, I'll do my very, very best to try to answer each and every question that comes through this evening. Um, as always, because we wait for the questions to come in, I start off with the topic of the week, try to make it a little easier to get the conversation going. Don't mind me while I'm looking at my phone here. I just want to get the live feed up and running here on my phone because I think sometimes the computer doesn't always give me the right answers, letting me know exactly who's on and what's going on. So I try to keep it on here just to make sure that I'm seeing everything live and in living color. So this week's topic, I'm going to talk about leash reactivity. Again, I know this is a subject I've approached many a time. Um, Leash reactivity, guys, is something that is hard to deal with, but can be addressed and fixed. So, how do I deal with leash reactivity? That's what a constant question I always get. Most people, when they deal with a leash reactive dog, and I watch people here do it, they see another dog coming, they know the dog's going to be reactive, they turn around and they go the other way. And in my world, guys, avoidance never teaches a dog how to properly handle the situation that they're being put into. So by turning around, oh my God, there's a dog coming, and turning around and going the other way is avoiding the situation. And reality is you want to be able to take your dogs with you no matter where you go. And sometimes there's going to be places that we can't turn around and go somewhere else. So, it's easier to deal with it head on in using the first 2 C's of my 4 C's of dog training, calm confidence, and just say, okay, here comes another dog. We're not going to react to it, not do the, oh crap, my dog is going to react to it. Just trust yourself, trust them. And sorry, my dog's barking. Um, Somebody knocked on my door, so give me a second. Um, if your dog is a leash reactive dog, first always start before you leave the home. Start the walk in a calm state of mind, the dog and you, in a calm, confident state of mind. And every step of the walk, you need to be in control. That means a short leash, not about smelling, peeing, and pooping at this point. It's about the dog following you and following your directions. And the directions don't have to be verbal. And when I say that, what I mean is you're going to make left hand turns, right hand turns, do the figure eights, do the hokey pokey, turn yourself around. Your dog should follow you. And once you establish that, and they stay in that calm state of mind because they're constantly saying, hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? You're going to see, first of all, maybe their reactivity isn't as bad. The other thing is the biggest mistake I see when I see people working with their leash reactive dogs is as soon as the human, spots the other dog, they start wrapping the leash around their hand. They start white knuckling. I gotta hold this. I gotta get ready for war. And your dog instantly, as soon as they feel that tension on the leash, they're going to be like, "Whoa, what's going on? Oh, another dog. Every time I see another dog, that person behind me gets they get tense. I should be tense. Let me react. Let me get that scary thing away from me or whatever they're thinking. And It's being created by humans. So what I tell people to do is still go with that same calm, confident, loose, relax the leash, and start watching your dog. If you see a change in your dog's normal prance, whatever you want to call it, their strut, at that point, when they're still low on that excitement scale, make a slight correction. No, sit, give them something else to do, and then don't move. Don't move. I mean, if you have to take them off the sidewalk, walk onto somebody's lawn 4 or 5 feet, that's fine. Just let them observe another dog passing them without an explosion. So this way, they're starting to learn a different way of handling it and handling their own um, energy, handling their own excitement, handling their own reactivity in a better manner. And remember, once that mind is in that calm state of mind, you need to praise your dog. And if you're doing treats, give treats. But again, you praise the calm state of mind. So if you're walking and they see another dog and you get your dog to sit calmly and they're looking at you for guidance, good, yes, give treat, whatever it is. So they know that, hey, this state of mind is what they're expecting from me. But if we're going to constantly hold that tension, that's what they're going to associate every other dog or every person or anything that is causing their reactivity to. That's what we're teaching them to be reactive because of our tension, our oh my God attitude. So it really does come from us, calm confidence. You guys all know that I'm pulling up a text message so I can try to sound halfway intelligent here. Wendy, who has Frankie, that we've helped out on a few occasions here. Um, she was talking about her dog's insecurities, and she sent me a text today. So I'm waiting to see when she pops in to let me know that she's watching. Um, but one of the things that scares her dogs when they're out, they took the dog on a trip this weekend, and one of the things that scared the dog or made the dog insecure was bicycles or motorcycles. I'm not sure which one it was because she just said bikes. Um, but I've seen dogs react negatively to motion. I've seen dogs react forward towards motion. None of it is acceptable. So what you need to do is actually have somebody that we know that has a bicycle, and don't start with riding it. I think that's another mistake we make. When I dealt with a dog that was reactive towards a bicycle, actually it was reactive towards a stroller. First thing I did is bring the stroller with me, baby stroller, and we just chilled out outside on the front lawn with the dog next to the baby stroller. And every time the dog focused on the baby stroller, I made a slight correction. And when he didn't focus on the baby stroller, I praised. So he started to associate the baby stroller as a different response. And then we just held the dog on a short leash, and I asked the humans that were with me, just go back and forth, back and forth. Don't go anywhere, just move it. And if I saw any reaction, same correction. As soon as there was no reaction, praise, 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 praise. And then we started to do a walk with the dog and the stroller. And this is the same theory I would use on a bicycle or anything that I can physically move. I can't do this with cars. I can't do this with motorcycles. But bicycles I can do it with. Skateboards I can do it with. Baby strollers I can do it with. You can even do it to some sort, roller skates or roller blades. And what I do with the bicycles, I'm just going to stand there with the bicycle, holding it, holding the dog on a leash. And when the dog stops fixating on this object, I'm going to praise. And then we're going to start the motion. And if the dog fixates because of motion, we're going to correct and praise when we get to the right state of mind. Remember, it's great that we stop the unwanted behavior, but if we don't turn the unwanted behavior into a positive, we're not really teaching. So what do I mean by that? That's when I make my correction, and then when I get to the state of mind, I do the praise or the treats or whatever we happen to be doing at that particular time to show the dog this state of mind is much better than the reaction towards this object. So it's always turning the nose into a yes, because that is crucial. And you can't turn a no into a yes if you're anything but calm, confident. They're not going to want to follow it. So, guys, again, I know there's some people out there watching. Put a comment down. Let me know you're here. First of all, let me know if this makes sense. But it's a slow process. Everything is based on a controlled environment, slow. Don't flood the dog. If I have a dog that's afraid of bicycles, I'm not going to go to Tour de France with the dog. If I have a dog that's afraid of fireworks, I'm not going to the Macy's fireworks display in Manhattan. We're going to desensitize them to their fears slowly in a controlled environment with as little stimulation as possible. So this way, the dog understands a better way of doing it. So again, guys, in the comments, please put down. Let me know if this makes sense to you. I want to make sure this is working. That this is valuable information to you guys. So when we're dealing with it, and it's the same thing, like I say, if a dog has stranger danger and they're unsure of the stranger approaching them, your job as that confident pack leader is to, hey, my dog, once you see your dog start, whoa, stranger, stop the process, ask the person to stop approaching, let the dog settle down at whatever distance they started showing this insecurity. And then when they're calm, we praise and maybe ask that person to take a step forward and we watch again. So this way they're learning, okay, you're hearing what I'm saying, you're respecting what I'm saying. Yes, this information set is very timely for Junior and me, especially with the cool weather and being outdoors and with my son getting a puppy. Absolutely, guys. When you, Phyllis, welcome by the way. Um, when you introduce a dog to another dog in the family, and it doesn't have to be your own house, everything should be in a controlled, calm environment. So again, if I was working with Junior and I had the privilege of introducing him to another dog or another person or whatever, I would take my time and listen to what Junior's telling me. And based on what he's telling me is how we're going to move him forward. So if I see that he's unsure of this new dog, especially I think Phyllis, we talked about Saturday a little bit, it's a very young puppy. Your son needs to get some of that puppy excitement. My suggestion will be get some of that puppy excitement out of the puppy before introducing Junior to him, because that puppy excitement could set Junior up for failure. And I never want to set a dog up for failure. I need to set them up for success. Um, and just for anybody up in the north, I will be up there in July. Um, I'm going to be limited. I'm only going to be there for 5 days. So what I may try to do, weather permitting, is have people come out, not to the house I'm staying at, but maybe to a park by where I'm staying, and we can work out a session, a group session type of environment, um, with you guys, because it's going to be, I'm flying up, so I'm going to be using somebody else's car. I don't want to drive all over the place with somebody else's car. Um, but we can work out something where we can get them out in a social environment, controlled social environment. Um, so if anybody's interested in it, I'll post it out on the Back to Basics Facebook page. Again, I'm going to put that QR code up here because I know we usually do Remember Me Rescues Facebook page, but I think something happened and they had to change the name, and I got to get in touch with Michelle to figure out what's going on. So it's real important, guys, to share my Facebook page with your friends and relatives around the country so they get the latest update. But I will be posting the dates. I'll be up in New York. We're probably going to work a weekend where either a Saturday or Sunday where I'm going to do um, a group type training. We did get together Sunday and work with what you recommend, but we know it will be take more than once. Absolutely, guys. People, Phyllis, it's a great comment, and I really appreciate that because one of the things people ask me all the time is how long is this going to take? I have no freaking clue. Every dog, one, is an individual. Every human I deal with is an individual. We all have different energy levels. We all have different learning capabilities. Um, how quickly a dog gets it, they get it quicker for me than they will for you because my energy is, 99.9% that calm, confident, and the dogs sense that. So they're going to respond to me better than they respond to you guys. And that's not knocking you guys, but it's so important for you to see that they can do it. And I'll give you the best example of it. I used to do group classes when I was up in New York at a pet store. And one of the ladies that reached out to me with her dog said, "I can't bring my dog into group train." And I call it was a freestyle class. It wasn't sit, stay, heal. It was problem solving. I didn't care what the issues are of the dog, as long as I knew in advance, we can take care of it. So she was so paranoid about how her dog was going to react in this group environment with other dogs. So I agreed to meet her in the parking lot and talked to her a little bit. I took the leash from her and I told her to wait, but where she can see from through the window of me bringing the dog into the group environment where there were, I don't know, six, seven, eight other dogs there, all with different behavioral issues. And she was like, "You can't do that. My dog's going to react. He's going to become aggressive. He blah, 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 blah." And because the dog read my energy and I was guiding him into the store, not what he wanted to do. He wanted to go into that store before me. I wouldn't allow him in the store before me. He had to wait for me. I had to guide him into the store. I brought him right, we had the circle set up. I brought him right to the middle of it. And he just sat there looking at me like, "Did I do good?" And I watched her through the window. And she was like, tears were in her eyes. She couldn't believe her dog was able to be around these other dogs without carrying on and trying to kill anybody. And it wasn't that he was an aggressive dog. He was just an overexcited dog that because of his overexcitement that was corrected with anger and frustration, his overexcitement on the leash actually became aggressive. So it showed people in that class, it showed people that were customers in the pet store that with the right energy, dogs follow. And that's what I try to get through to you guys. Phyllis, you're doing a phenomenal job, and I know you're going to get this because of your passion for Junior. Um, it just don't rush the process and don't get upset if the next time you meet with your son and his dog, it's not as good. That's okay. Those are the opportunities that we look for to, they made a mistake. We need to move them forward. We're going to teach them, okay, you made a mistake. That's okay. I made mistakes in my life. And if people didn't guide me through those mistakes, who knows what my life would have turned out to be. So by guiding Junior through it, especially when he makes a mistake, even if he did good for the last two or three times you met with your son, if the mistake happens, take that as the opportunity to reinforce it and just stay calm, confident. They get it. They understand. I wish humans would. Um, and it goes to the same thing, with any type of reactivity. And that, when I say reactivity, guys, I'm not talking aggression. Reactivity could be overexcitement. Reactivity could be get me the hell out of here when they're on a leash and a leaf blows by them or whatever it is. Those are all different types of reactivity. I mean, somehow the word reactivity became a negative in the industry where it meant my dog is lunging at other dogs or people or whatever. Doesn't necessarily mean that. Reactivity is anything they're acting towards something else. We tend to think of it as a negative. An overly excited dog that's up on its hind legs saying, "I gotta be Fido," is reacting. The dog that gets scared of a bicycle and trying to run away is reacting. So that's what leash reactivity is. We have to stop looking at it as a negative. It doesn't mean it. This time was just okay, but no, that's well. Oh, okay, I read that one already. Oh, okay. This time was just okay, but I know there is a long way to go for Junior. Yeah, and it's just baby steps. And Paul Abdul actually said it right. Sometimes you take two steps forward and one step back, and that's okay. Those one, I actually like the one step back because that's my opportunity to reinforce. It's like when I work with these dogs that are leash reactive and I'm out in the public and I see that other dog come in or the person come in or whatever I know this dog is going to react to, I'm like, challenge accepted. Let's do this. Because the more I do that with this dog, the quicker we're gonna rewire their brain. They're gonna learn a different way to do this. It works. It just takes the time. And it's not the time for the dog, guys. Like I said, it's more you channeling that calm, confident energy so your dog can follow that energy instead of the verbal word. Once we master that, these dogs will follow. And I know this. I've seen it too many times. And they just get it. So we're at the 20-minute mark, guys. I'm not seeing a lot of questions. I know that Wendy said she was going to join us tonight. I haven't seen anything from her yet tonight, and that's okay because I'll reach out to her separately. She did send me a text. And remember, guys, if you have any questions between sessions, you can always reach out to me. I mean, there is absolutely nothing wrong with shooting me a text or sending me an email. Here's my contact information. Um, the 803 or the 631 number, the one right behind my head here. Either one of them you can text me at. The 803 is more my business line. The 631 is now my personal line. But you can text me at either number. Um, Feel free to. I will do my best to try to answer all the questions or email me at info@backtodaySixDogTraining.com. I'll be happy to answer any of your questions during the week once I have an opportunity. I may not get to it that day, depending on my schedule, but I will get to it usually within 24 hours. Um, but with that being said, guys, if there's no more questions, um, all I can try to reiterate to everybody is that your energy is going to make or break the situation. Don't think of the what ifs. What if my dog sees another dog? Who cares? If we do, we'll work with it. Don't think of the negative, think of the positive. Well, we're going to see another dog and we're going to pass this other dog. Change the narrative. Rewrite that narrative. Rewrite the ending of the story. Because that's going to come from your energy. And if we can all channel calm confidence, our dogs will be much happier. And I'm going to move out of the way because that will get them back to balance because they follow calm, confident energy. Same as humans. We follow bosses that are calm, confident. We follow generals into war that are calm, confident. If they were anything other than that, we're not going to follow them. So look at that. Check your energy. Men, check your ego at the door. Women, check the estrogen at the door. Go out there with calm confidence, head up high, accept the challenge, move them through the challenge, and they will follow. So, with that being said, guys, if there's no other questions, um, as always, thank you for inviting me to your home each and every Tuesday evening. Um, Again, I will be live every Tuesday evening at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And I will also be live every other Saturday. So this Saturday I will not be live. The following Saturday I will be live. Um, and in the interim, if you have any questions, private message me at my Facebook page. Shoot me a text message. Shoot me an email. Give me a topic of the week you guys want me to discuss. It. Any way that you communicate to me would be great. But with that being said, guys, thank you for inviting me into your home each and every Tuesday evening. It's truly an honor and a privilege to be here with you. As always, stay healthy, stay safe, God bless, and remember, together, you can help one dog and one family at a time. Enjoy the rest of your week, guys. I'll see you next Tuesday night, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time.